Man, you look good enough like some forbidden fruit. I want to take a bite out of you, girl.
Forbidden fruit.
Yeah. You
You're
look
so friendly.
scrumptious.
You're so friendly. Oh, my baby. Maybe they're watching
Oh,
us.
oh, I'm sorry. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Eat and Restored. We're so glad you're here. Listen, subscribe, and get ready to go into this next episode with us, right?
Yes. Subscribe, like, and share.
All right, well, let's go into it. Hey, everybody. It's been a long time coming, but a what?
A change is gonna come.
A change is done come. We are back with Eat and Restored. Woo! I'm excited, babe. We for 3 years now, 4 years. For the last 3 years, we were naked and unashamed. We felt like we needed dust the dust off the tree, and to came up with a new set design and rebranding as Eat and Restore because we believe that couples need to be intentionally about restoration, restoring their relationship, curating an atmosphere that is safe for both spouses. So I'm excited. We're here at Eden Restored.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. And today we're bringing you some great information about the longevity, the stages that couples go into.
You know, I was reading something the other day, and it says that there are 6 phases of a marriage. And if people would just be able to press through the third stage, around the third stage, people get stuck, give up, and they miss the beauty of what could come out of a marriage if they just stuck with it. So I want to talk about we want to talk about those 6 phases and how you can push through and not give up on you. Can somebody type in the chat, I'm not giving up on us, right? We want you to be restored. That's what God, when He created marriage, He didn't create it lightly or hastily. He created it as the first institution, the first covenant agreement between two humans. And so we want to bring back the sacredness and the stickiness of marriage and get y'all back to a place where Eden is restored and you don't give up before you go up. Are you ready? Type in the comments, type in the chat. We're ready. We're ready. All right, babe. So what are those 6 phases that people go through? Do you know?
The 6 phases, the very first one is called, the dream phase.
The dream phase.
I'm just going to mention the phases, and then we're gonna talk about what those particular phases are. So that one is the dream phase. Then we have the recovery phase, the disappointment phase, the rebuilding phase, the deep in love phase, and then the legacy phase.
Wow. Let's start at the beginning.
Let's start at the top.
The dream phase. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper up in the limousine. You remember that was Juicy, Vicky. But anyway,
They called him Juicy?
the song was called Juicy.
Oh, okay.
He was juicy, but the song was called.
Like I missed that whole
The song was
part.
called Juicy. It was a dream. I think a lot of relationships start with a dream. I think we were all raised on fairy tales. Anita Baker had a song called Fairy Tales. Fairy tales don't always come true. No, that was Guy said it too, because there's some disillusionment that can come into a relationship after you've been together past the honeymoon phase.
Well, no, that very first stage is that honeymoon phase. Where everything is rose-tinted glasses, your feet don't stink. That you're just loving
You don't pass gas.
You don't. Yeah, you kind of hide that you're not human at that point. But it's that being on that cloud, like nothing is wrong, everything is great. But like you said, that's when that disillusionment can creep in.
Yeah, but I don't want to bust anybody's bubble. Dreams can come true.
Yes,
But it takes intentionality.
Definitely.
It takes work. And I don't believe in fairy tales, but I believe in real work. And I believe that marriage is what you put into it.
definitely.
And so we're going to talk about some of that right now. The challenge is dreams are beautiful, but they can also create unrealistic expectations. And that's where offense comes in, is when you have expectations that are not communicated and left unresolved, or unrealistic expectation. It gets you every time. And you mentioned rose-tinted glasses. When we do marriage counseling with young couples, like we just did with your niece and her lovely new husband, we ask them questions like, have you argued yet? because you find out a lot about each other when you have your first argument. When I counsel a couple and like, we never argue, I'm like, oh Lord, they need to learn how to fight fair.
Definitely.
And need to learn how to set realistic expectations. So the first thing we would say is this: write down your top 3 shared dreams as a couple. What is that going to do, babe, by writing down your shared dreams as a couple?
Well, one, you see what is shared. Like he's going to bring into the marriage his ideas, she's bringing into the marriage her ideas. But the goal is for you to come up with these 3 dream ideas together. So that's going to take intentionality and work. And by putting them on paper, they're more likely to come true as opposed to just keeping it in your head.
And I think it speaks to alignment. Are we trekking in the same way? Is our trajectory hitting in the same way? Are we on the same path, the same growth path? Do we want the same things? And hopefully that has been established before you walk down the aisle.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Right? In the dating process, in the times that you guys were bonding. But even after you say I do, it's still necessary to intentionally write down, like every year we vision board, right? We vision board, we talk about the things we want to accomplish, what's on our bucket list. But what are your dreams? Write that down. What's the second thing they could do?
The second thing is that you need to, in this phase, establish your rhythms. Your rhythms on date night, your rhythms on prayer, your rhythms on that intentional connection. And that intentional connection could be intimacy or sex. So you have to establish those rhythms starting out like, okay, well, every Friday we're going to try to have date night. You know, every 3 months we're going to try to travel, whether that's in state or out of the country, but just establishing those rhythms. We're going to cook together 3 times a week. You know, what does that look like?
Getting up every morning, praying together, or praying every night before we close our eyes. Having some pillow talk at 9 o'clock at night. Rhythms. Your rituals and rhythms are so important as a married couple, and to establish those early. How you practice is how you play.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have good practice, you're not going to look good on the court. I remember New Edition's choreographer, he said, how you guys practice is how you're going to look on the stage. And I think it's important for couples to practice consistently these rhythms so that they begin to just become a natural part of your relationship. The third thing I would say is celebrate the joy, but stay grounded in reality. Every day is not going to be cloud 9. Every day is not going to be sunshine. My boys, again, I'm quoting them again, New Edition. Everybody loves sunny days, but can you stand the rain? So the days that you're joyful, be joyful. Laugh, play with each other. But know that you're going to have some dark days. You're going to have some stormy days. But all those good days set a foundation that makes the bad days tolerable. So our prayer for you is that y'all have more good days than you have bad days.
And maybe celebrate the small things. You know, as opposed to you got a raise at work. Definitely celebrate that. But celebrate if you were able to journal, you know, for a whole week with that, or that celebrate each other being intentional about praying together. So celebrate those small victories as well.
No doubt. So the first phase is what? Put this in the chat. It's the dream phase. This right there at the bottom, lower thirds. The dream phase. That's number 1. The second phase that we're going into is the recovery phase. Recovery? After the honeymoon? What you mean? This is when the real you and the real them show up. Y'all remember The Real World? You remember The Real World on MTV?
Yes.
Where it says,
okay,
the real world, where people stop being polite and start being real. So it gets real when you first get married. That first year is probably the hardest year of your marriage.
I would say the first 5.
The first 5?
Yeah.
Lord, my Lord, talk about it.
Well, the first 5, you know, the first year, you're still pretty much on that honeymoon stage. Everybody's still congratulating you on your marriage, and you're still, you know, enjoying each other. But I would say the first 5 are.
But keep it 100. You're going to start noticing habits and differences and quirks Before that 5th year, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
What were some of the things you discovered about me when we first got married? You're like, oh Lord, I don't know if I can put up with this.
Okay, so like, lean in.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes in and takes his clothes off, where he takes them off and leaves them there. It's like he just steps out of them and just leaves his clothes. So I can remember when we first got married and we lived in seminary housing. And you had done, and I was like, babe, please put your clothes up. I said, let's make them more work. You laughing because you remember.
I don't, but I'm laughing
Okay.
because of what I'm seeing now. Yeah, go ahead.
And so I was like, well, anything on the floor is trash.
What?
And so that's what happened. I threw away his keys, and you had to go in the dumpster and get them.
You did that? Now was hold on. That's petty, yo. Did you think that was a little petty, throwing away keys?
I mean, being young and immature in our marriage, of course, that was petty and immature. And I was trying to set a boundary where, anything that's on the floor is considered trash.
Wow. Hey, fellas, don't leave your keys on the floor because your wife will throw away your house keys and your car keys. You got to go digging in the trash.
Well,
no.
they were in your pants.
Oh, my gosh. This story's getting worse. I wish I would have forgotten it. But the bottom line is, right, we had to figure out and navigate as a young couple how to share space, because when we were in seminary housing, we had a 1-bedroom efficiency. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't very fun. We didn't have any rooms where we could go hide from each other.
Right.
It is what it is. And so my wife was right. It took a lot of negotiation to share a 1-bedroom efficiency. And I remember us wishing, I can't wait till we get windows and closets, and God made a way. But he also tested us in that small space to see, could we negotiate and to deal with the nuances and the habits that we were not ready for. Love gets tested when you have to move in with each other. You don't really know a person till you live with them.
Absolutely. Those little quirks that the person has, the differences that you'll start noticing, and even some of the things that you thought, oh, this was cute initially when you were dating, now they start to get on your nerves.
And the danger of people not making it out the first year of marriage is that you avoid conflict.
Oh, yeah.
If you cannot handle conflict in a marriage and a relationship, that first year might kill you. Because you're going to be disillusioned in that first year. Like, wow, they leave their clothes on the floor. What is all this hair? Is she pulling her hair out and throwing it on my side of the sink? What is this? Why are all these perfume bottles all over the sink? What is this? And so you have to be able to make adjustments with each other and to share that space. So here's what we need to do. You got to learn how to listen before you defend. Write that in the chat. Learn how to listen before you defend. Because, watch this, instead of listening to respond, people should do what?
They should listen to hear what the other person
and
has
to
understand. Yeah.
The bottom line to fixing conflict in a relationship is listening to understand. It is more important to understand than it is to be understood,
yes.
right? And so we have to listen before we start defending ourselves, before we start responding. And so many people, they sit there and they listen and they're trying to, it's like double dutch. Let me get in and show him that let me get her and show she's crazy, she's illogical. Let me get him and show him how wrong. No, listen. What's the second thing?
The second one is that you have to, set your boundaries for your finances, for your family, and for your personal space. So when you're setting these healthy boundaries, make sure that you're explaining why you are setting these particular boundaries.
Boundaries help me to love my wife and love me at the same time. Boundaries help me to know what I'm responsible for and what my wife is responsible for. So we have to be able to set healthy boundaries. Boundaries like, we're not going to talk on the phone after a certain time when we get home. Boundaries are, we're not going to share our marriage business with anybody outside our marriage, unless they're mutual friends that are kind of walking with us in this journey to hold each other accountable. But it must be communicated what that boundary looks like, right?
Absolutely.
So boundaries for finances, like, we're going to come up with a spending plan. That's what a spending plan. People get divorced for 3 reasons: kids, money, and sex. And so boundaries around finances, like join a separate account. Who's going to manage the books? What's our spending plan look like? All those things really help when you enter to delusion where you're like, wait a minute, I married a spender and I'm a saver. I like eating healthy. They love junk food. How are we going to negotiate this?
Right.
Right? So we got to come up with those boundaries. What's another thing?
And the other thing on this, instead of saying you never do this or you always, start using the I statements.
I feel.
I feel this way. I would like for you to do such and such. So
that's good.
It takes that small little shift. It takes the defenses out, and it could change the trajectory of your conversation.
Y'all know how y'all get. Y'all know how y'all get.
Well, I mean, y'all.
Yeah. Who is y'all? Why you getting defensive?
Yeah, who is y'all?
Yeah. Let me finish.
Okay.
Because what she just assumed is what? That I'm talking about the women.
I did.
Y'all could be. It's gender neutral.
Okay. All right. Let's see.
But here's the thing. Some people
okay.
in a relationship overgeneralize when they get mad. You always leaving your clothes on the floor. You never take me anywhere. You never buy me nothing. You better call Tyra.
How'd you get there?
Because she said you never buy me nothing.
Okay.
Never and always sometimes are overgeneralizations. What you can say is, I wish that you would show that you love me by every now and then bringing me a gift. That's my love language. But I haven't gotten a gift from you in a while. Do you see how that's better than you never buy me nothing?
It is. Or be like, babe, let's revisit our 5 love languages. And then that way you can talk about what your top love languages are and how you guys could cater to each love language.
And using nonviolent communication. Yeah. I feel disappointed that after I shared with you not to leave anything on the floor, you left your pants on the floor. And I noticed your keys were in them when I picked them up, and I hung your keys up on the rack because I didn't want to throw them in the trash.
That was 1 year of marriage. We talking about 1 year of marriage.
And I would really appreciate it, sweetheart, if you could help me keep the house clean, because sometimes it feels like I'm the only one cleaning up, and I really would appreciate your help. Does that sound better?
It does sound better.
Don't it? Instead of me go digging in the trash?
Well, you didn't have to. He learned his lesson.
I learned my lesson. I'm a good boy now. Listen, the third phase, and again, here's the premise, guys. There are 6 phases in a relationship that couples go through. But many couples do not make it in marriage because they give up in a certain phase because they get frustrated or they don't have the tools. We don't want that to happen to you. We want you to make it through every phase so you can restore your Eden. Y'all ready? Phase number 3, the disappointment phase. Now, we just came out of the recovery phase. Now we're going through the disappointment phase. Have you ever been disappointed in your marriage, in your relationship? I believe everybody has.
Yeah.
Human beings will disappoint you because we're imperfect. Disappointment is going to happen in the best relationships. But it's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to it that determines whether or not y'all are going to stay together. So disappointment is where frustration sets in, expectations don't match reality, and resentment can creep in. But disappointment doesn't mean defeat. It's actually an invitation. And unfortunately, many people give up at this stage thinking that love is gone when in reality, it's just evolving. Let me say that again. Many people think love is gone during this phase. It's not gone, it's just evolving. You know, I hear people all the time say stuff when we've counseled couples in the past. I'm just not in love anymore. Watch this. It's dangerous in a relationship when you say, I fell in love. Because love is not a hole. If you can fall into it, you can fall out of it. Yeah. But love is what you put into it. It's the intentionality behind pouring into another human being. So here's what you got to do. You have to acknowledge the disappointment. Don't hide it. Lean into it. You know, your relationship should be strong enough where you can handle disappointment.
I agree.
Where you can speak truth and love and just, I want to be honest with you. That hurt my feelings.
Yep.
When you threw away my keys, it hurt my feelings. When you did not help me out, it hurt my feelings. And when we can come and say that, sometimes in the business, we don't even know it. Right? You can walk around toting stuff and being resentful for years, and then you just let it out in a burst of anger, and the spouse looks at you bewildered and confused like, I didn't know.
Yeah, and that's, you have to acknowledge the disappointment in a timely manner. So that it doesn't build up over the years and resentment starts to set in. So if something disappointed you, like if you were looking forward to date night and then all of a sudden, he came in week 3 and was like, I don't want to go. I don't want. I'm tired. I'm just going to stay home and watch the game, and you just swallow it, then that's a good opportunity to go to your spouse at that time and be like, babe, don't let it linger toward 3 weeks. It's been 2 weeks and we haven't, gone out. Is everything okay? Do a state of the marriage check-in at that point.
How often?
I mean, at least once a month. You need to get in and discuss, how do you think we're doing? How are you feeling? This is how I'm feeling. And then start resolving those issues.
I think that's so good. She said every month have a state of the marriage discussion. How are we doing? Are you still happy? What can I do to bring more joy in your life? Are you satisfied with our sex life? How about our communication? Are we going out enough? Are we doing enough new things together? How are you feeling in our marriage? Because what we said early on in our marriage is that if it wasn't going good, we were going to say something.
Right.
And there were times we didn't. We got off track and we didn't. And we're like, wait a minute. We made a promise that we would always check in with each other to say, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And when you're able to do that, you give your spouse an opportunity to make adjustments so that you're both happy. If you're going to be married for a long time, it's so important to have a State of the Union address monthly to see how we're doing, right?
Right.
And if you need to bring in a counselor, mentor, accountability group, we got you.
Right.
As we said at the outset, we are newly board certified sex coaches. So it's not just sex though. It's communication. It's intimacy.
Yeah.
It's the total piece of how to tap into your pleasure and to be erotically conscious and have agency over your body and your pleasure. We want to help you navigate through those places. And sometimes you get stuck. Even Michael Jordan has a coach. When he was playing, he had a coach. And now playing golf, he has a golf coach. Tiger Woods, one of the greatest golfers in the world, had a golf coach. Mike Tyson, one of the baddest boxers ever to touch the planet, he had a corner man. He had a coach. Don't you think you need a coach? You need two things in order to make it through marriage. You need a coach and you need community. And we offer that through Eden Circle. So if you need that extra touch, that extra coaching voice, unbiased voices, Rhonda and I are here for you through the Eden Circle. And all you have to do is go to www.theedencircle.com. So can you say a little bit more about disappointment, babe?
Yeah, so, disappointment, that's a signal that should be a red flag, that something is going on, that something needs attention. And sometimes it doesn't mean that the marriage is over. It's just an opportunity to get right at the beginning so that, I almost want to say, so you don't get left. But it's an opportunity for you and your spouse to really delve deeper into conversation and fix that thing before it's 30 years you married and you still disappointed on something that happened year one.
What I can truly attest to, this is no cap. In the most difficult times in our marriage, when we worked through it with tears in our eyes, sometimes some sleepless nights after we stayed up talking, the love got deeper. We became better friends. We began to know each other inside and out. We didn't run from the conflict. We ran to it. and we learn how to use healthy tools of communication. Now, did we have some moments where we raised our voices or we said some things we regretted? We absolutely did. But each time we got stronger, we got wiser, we got more mature, and the conversations got better, and the quiet, awkward stages got less and less. But we had to dig into it.
Yes.
And you can do it too. So we want to recap what we've talked about so far, the different phases that you go through in your marriage that are important to navigate if you're going to stay married. Number one, the dream phase. That's where we all stay. We come into it with rose-tinted glasses. Oh, I love her. I'm going to love her forever. You know, we're going to live happily ever after. The dream phase does not have to be negative, though. Dream phase, enjoy it, but stay grounded. Continue to dream together. Write down the dreams that you want to share with each other. The second one?
The second one is the recovery phase. You know, in this particular phase is where we started realizing some habits that have gone on, and we start seeing each other for what and who we really are. So you learn to have that healthy conflict, the non-violent communication. So this is the recovery phase.
And the third phase we talked about tonight is the discovery phase, right? The disappointment phase, my bad. The discovery that you make after you're disappointed. We want you to get through the disappointment phase, and what you'll discover is that you're stronger than what you thought, right? Acknowledge it and get help if you need it. Don't be ashamed or prideful to say, we could use a coach right here. We should call up the Spencers and schedule a counseling session. We should be a part of that intensive that they're getting ready to start in January for 6 months. We should join Eden Circle and get some coaching and some community. Whatever you need, it's here. You don't have to be out in the wilderness by yourself trying to figure out, how do we stay married? How they get their marriage the way it is? All of the videos, all the things you see us do on the internet came with blood, sweat, and tears, with much prayer, with counseling, with ups and downs. But through it all, we've learned how to love each other. We've evolved. We've pushed through it. And you can too. So we don't want to give you too much tonight on our first night back, but we wanted to at least get those first 3 out for you to consider. So what we'd like for you to do is to go together as a couple and talk about these 3 phases and ask each other, what phase do you think we're in, babe? How do we get to the next phase? How do we get through what it is we've been through without throwing the keys in the trash? Don't
throw the keys.
Don't throw the keys in the trash. Use your keys. Don't use your keys, man. So please, we hope that these keys that we've given you tonight will unlock the door to more intimacy, more passion, and that you can truly restore your Eden. All right? We're coming back with part 2. I think we need to give you all 6 of these. So if you want all 6, put in the chat, we want all 6, and we're coming back. All right? Listen, if you haven't subscribed yet to our Eden Restored podcast channel, YouTube channel, do that right now. And do one more step. You know a couple, right? You got some friends. They're struggling. They're about to call it quits. They don't have to, because you got tools, right? You got tools right now. You can send it to a friend, a girlfriend, a guy friend, a bruh, and say, hey, y'all can make it. We can make it together. Go subscribe to the Eden Restored podcast, all right?
And until next time, keep building, keep loving, and let's keep choosing each other. And we'll see you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
Babe, you want to go try out some of these new tips we just learned?
Like which one?
I don't know, but let's go make up some new
Oh,
tips.
wait. Y'all still here? Wait a minute. I thought we told y'all to go love on each other. Y'all supposed to go take the stuff we gave you and go love on each other. What else should they do?
And make sure that since you're listening, that you like and subscribe and share with your friends.
Yes, let's get this thing happening. Eden has been restored, and it's time to go have some fun in your garden. We'll see you soon.